Justin, there's so much I have to talk to you about. You've been promoting this film now all over the world. Yesterday,
Yes.
Where were you just yesterday?
Just yesterday, I was in Italy, and we just got back last night. Yeah.
And you also got engaged, by the way.
Yes, thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
I met your fiancé backstage.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
What is it like selling this film around the world?
We went to Mexico, which was out of control. We went to Italy, obviously, went to the Venice Film Festival. Then we went to London, which was, you know, it's strange just because it should be the least strange of the places. But I was on the red carpet there.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice. They all have accents.
That's what they call it in London, yeah.
Beetlejuice.
We love the Beetle. Beetlejuice.
Are you going to see Beetlejuice?
And we are going to go see it. Well, no, yeah. We'll
go see the film.
Yes, we've got a film. We'll see it twice.
Beetlejuice.
Say it twice. And go see it twice. And go
to see it. It's
not
Beetlejuice anymore.
No.
It's Beetlejuice.
What would you think?
No, actually, I was on the red carpet, and I went over to, there was some woman holding a microphone, you know, like some entertainment show over there. And she holds the microphone out, and she goes, Justin Theroux, dirty sex. And I went, what? And this is going south quickly, and I haven't even said anything.
Dirty sex?
She goes, dirty sex. It's taken 36 years to make this movie. And I was like, because there's been a big gap.
Dude, that's the best. That's so funny.
I like panicked for a minute. I was like, where's this interview going?
That's
like,
so funny.
It's the last thing I want to hear.
36
dirty
years.
Sex.
Since the last Beetlejuice. That's so funny. Yeah. I know you, speaking about traveling, I was going to ask you this backstage, but I'll do it right here in front of America. Wow. Is this true? Do you sleep naked on international flights? This is a trick question.
No, there's not a trick. Well, it's not a trick question from you. So, you know how, I mean, you're in the public eye sometimes. Yeah. And, you know, you get questions from like a tabloid or something that says, could you confirm or deny X, Y? And you go, oh, yeah, no, that's not true.
Yeah.
It's usually something pretty silly. I got one that I was a nudist on airplanes.
That's correct.
That I like would get on airplanes naked and walk around them. Yes, you fake news. And so I thought it'd be kind of fun to like, reply, yes, I am a nudist on planes. Like, this could be hilarious. And so I was running sort of some ideas, like reply ideas by with my friends. I was thinking, wouldn't this be funny? Like, what could we say? We could say, like, yeah, I insist on being naked because X, Y, Z. And then I was telling Jason Bateman, our friend, this thing, and he goes, yeah, but dude, you do fly naked on planes. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? And he's like, yeah, when we flew to London, we took a flight once to London together. Yeah. And he was like, and I came by to say goodnight to you, and you were totally naked. I was like, I wasn't naked. I was in like my boxer shorts. And he was like, yeah, but so clearly someone saw you and they thought you were naked. So that's the origin of the story of why he, but Jason is also that guy who, you know, wears pajamas and goes to brush his teeth 3 times before, you know, he goes to bed. He puts on the whole outfit.
He wears a 3-piece suit to bed.
We're not in 38J either. You know, we're in first class. We're in a little cubicle.
So you're there.
I thought it was dark lighting.
In your boxers.
Yeah. Well, no. I'd do this thing where I'll sort of go like that, and then I'll just take my shoes off and maybe my shirt, and then I'm asleep. The whole plane's dark, so I'm not.
Yeah. You're in the fetal position.
I'm in the fetal position.
Mind your own business.
Yeah.
Basically naked.
Jason Bateman.
Baby,
yeah.
Is he big spoon or little spoon?
He's a big spoon.
He's total big spoon. He's so big spoon.
Moppy head of hair.
There's always stories going on about you in the tabloids. I'm sorry that you have to deal with that stuff, but I thought maybe I could run through some of these things and see if some of these stories are true or if there's a history behind this.
Sure.
One of your first jobs was working at a circus in Japan.
That's a true story.
How?
That's a true story. When I was between high school and college, I went and lived with a friend of mine in Japan to make money for college, and I got a job at Ringling Brothers in Barnum and Bailey, and I made snow cones.
Wow!
So it sounds more exotic than it really is.
Yeah, working at a circus, but you made snow cones in Japan.
I made snow cones in Japan. I could still, you know, sell them.
How about this? The viral "My money don't jiggle jiggle" guy is your actual cousin.
Yes, it is. Confirmed.
Explain.
It's my cousin Louis. He's a fabulous documentarian, really funny, interesting guy.
Yes.
Won BAFTAs, and he went viral last year for, he did a doc, I don't know what it was. It was something where he did a rap sort of a joke rap, and then it just
jiggle, jiggle.
was one of those things that went into the intertubes and then just went crazy. And so now I just saw him actually when we were in London, and he's more famous for that
than anything he's ever done.
Than anything he's ever done.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
All right, this one here. You were once in a motorcycle gang called Satan's Hooves.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
That I thought was fake.
No, I was in a motorcycle gang called Satan's Hooves, where there were 3 of us, then there were 2 of us, then we had a third again.
So
I was part of the New
gang.
York chapter.
Okay.
And we were trying to come up with like
The New York chapter of Satan's Hooves.
the New York chapter. It was a big initiation. You had to get a beat.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And we were just trying to come up with a name, and we were thinking of like Heaven's Devils, which we thought would be cool.
Oh, Heaven's Devils is funny. That's a good name.
Good. And then we thought the stupidest one would be Satan's Hooves.
So
the Hooves of Satan.
Yeah, absolutely
logo was
frightening.
like a
and it's a
little-
3-membered gang.
It's a 3-member gang.
That's
And then we
so
went down to 2. Just because
And
one
then
of us,
down
I
to
think, had
2.
to sell their motorcycles.
Let's talk about Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
This is going to be giant. I'm so excited about this. Tell everyone who you play and what the.
I play this guy named Rory, who's sort of a producer, director, agent, and love interest to Winona Ryder. And he's
Amazing, by the way.
He's fantastic. And he's a real jerk, and it was really fun to play.
Yeah.
He's just sort of that guy. You'll see when the movie
But what a
comes
great
out.
cast. I mean, Catherine O'Hara, you have Jenna Ortega,
Yeah.
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
Doing Beetlejuice.
Doing actual Beetlejuice.
Is that a little odd when he's doing it? Because you're doing an impression, but no, that's.
Well, I had never
invented it.
met him. Like, I had never even met Michael Keaton.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so the first time I met him, we were doing hair and makeup tests like you do, and someone said, oh, and I've been wanting to meet him, and they said, oh, he's in his trailer right now. He's just come through. And I thought, oh, great. So I went, and he opens the door, knocked, and I look up, and it's Michael Keaton, or it's Beetlejuice. He's just wearing the full hair. He's got the striped suit and everything. He said, come on in. And so I went in, and we sat down, talked for a minute. And then, like, next day, we went to work together.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Jenna about this. We worked with him. It was so much fun, obviously, because he's so talented and has so much energy. And it was actually almost weirder. Then finally, like weeks later, we saw him out of makeup.
Just meeting the actual Michael Keaton.
Actual Michael Keaton. But it wasn't like meeting Michael Keaton. It was like meeting Beetlejuice, who had like Michael Keaton makeup on.
Yeah.
Feel like, and Michael, we were like, oh, who's that guy? Like,
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And to see it, and then also those guys together, and him and Winona and
Catherine O'Hara. I mean,
Catherine
like,
O'Hara. Oh,
that was so.
And Tim
much
Burton.
fun. And Tim Burton.
How's Tim Burton?
Tim Burton he lives up to exactly what you would think.
wanna meet that
He's
guy. I think
really
he's so
fun.
cool.
He's so imaginative, and
Yeah.
he's a wonderful, wonderful guy.
That's one of the things I loved about this movie too. The effects are real, like claymation and real.
Yeah, he did this kind of wonderful thing where he wanted to make it really quickly. He didn't want to like waste any time, doing CGI and all. He sort of cleared it away, and it was sort of like making an independent film. He just sort of put a big iron dome over the whole thing, and we went in and just sort of played and made each other laugh and goofed. And then the effects are all like, real effect. So in the trailer, you can see he opens his shirt and guts blow out, and real, rubber guts and goo hit us in the face. And it's really lo-fi, but in a weird way, that's what makes it so.
It's well done.
Great.
It's super funny and super entertaining. I want to show everyone a clip. Here's Justin Theroux in Beetlejuice. Take a look.
I know this is a big step for you, but in the words of Dr. Glickman, I'm going to give you the push you need. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Is that
Beetlejuice.
First of all, I want you 2 kids to know this is a safe space, okay? Feel free to express yourselves. Don't be afraid. I sense there's an enabler here, but we'll get to that.
You're a figment of my imagination.
Really? Is this a figment of your imagination?
Yeah, come on! Justin Theroux, Beetlejuice is in theaters and IMAX this Friday. More with Justin after the break. Stick around, everybody. Come on back.